What's up, everyone? Today we'll be going over 5 tips and tricks that'll help you guys out in Bloons TD6. So, tip number 1 is know your heroes. The first thing to know about these heroes is that some of them can shoot through obstacles. Hbomb, Izili, and Adora all can shoot over obstacles, making them much better on certain maps such as Moon Landing. And then also, Pat, Fusty, and Brickle can kind of go through obstacles in that Pat can hit through them but can't use his ability Big Squeeze, and Brickle can't shoot through them but her secondary attack, the sea mines, can go through obstacles. Another thing that changes from hero to hero is how quickly they gain experience. Now, the base heroes, Quincy, Gwendolyn, Striker Jones, and Oben, all require the base amount and will level up the fastest. Benjamin requires 1.5 times more XP to level up. Izili, Pat, and Brickle all require 1.425 times the XP of the base heroes to level up, and Adora and Churchill both require 1.8 times more XP than the base heroes. The caveat to this is that Adora has the blood sacrifice ability that gives her 4 times money spent on the tower as experience, which allows you to more efficiently get her up to the level that you need her to be at. So on to tip number 2, and it's all about targeting, primarily about dart monkeys when you get onto the harder maps. So here I placed down a dart monkey and a sub, which is the way I beat this map on chimps, although I did not change this dart monkey's targeting to last. So here you can see I leaked, but on the next take, we'll place down the towers in the exact same position, but we'll change the dart monkey to last targeting priority and we'll beat it no problem. Now, my go-to method is, if there is a straightaway at all like this one, then you set the dart monkey's targeting priority to last to make use of as much pierce as you can. Now, if there isn't a straightaway, you can just set its targeting priority to strong so that the actual damage dealer of the run will have an easier time popping all of the balloons. But if you're running a setup that uses multiple dart monkeys, you typically want the middle one set to strong, you want one on a straightaway that is set to last, and the one that has to pop the last of the balloons, which is normally the one closest to the exit, you want on first, just to make sure that you pop all of them. And this really takes advantage of the weaker the balloon is, the slower it is, at least in the beginning. And also, you want to make use of all of the dart monkeys' pierce. Although it is not much, one pop could be the difference between winning and losing. So one other targeting related thing that we are going to cover is that when you have one monkey that has lead popping power on round 28, you are going to want to set it to strong. Now this one is pretty obvious, although it makes a huge difference. So here the sniper is set to strong and we pop almost all of the balloons, but if I switch its targeting to first and send the wave again, you will see that we don't even come close to popping them all. So this does make a huge difference. Now, tip number 3 is make some money. In order to get the new heroes, you're going to need some cash. Luckily, Ninja Kiwi made it very easy to get an absurd amount of it. Now, the way that money is rewarded is all easy game modes give 75 bucks, mediums 150, hards 200, and impoppable or chimps are 300. And then the map difficulties have a multiplier of 1 to 4x, meaning that if you beat an intermediate map on hard, you'll receive $400. And all of this is before the monkey knowledge that increases the money rewards. So what I recommend is taking down the easier intermediate chaps on hard through chimps to get an easy 2k cash reward. The easier maps being Carts and Darts, Streambed, Cracked, Firing Range, and Downstream. So tip number 4 is how to get easy tower experience. Before you get into the harder difficulties, you're going to want to unlock some tier 5 upgrades for towers. Now the easiest way to do that is to farm some deflation. Now the most efficient way to do it is to plop down Churchill and a 300 Alchemist right here on logs and just hit play and it'll carry you through the end of the run as long as you have some monkey knowledge. Now if you don't have that, you can always just throw down a 220 monkey village right below them to help him out with the camo balloons heading his way. Now, the tower experience is fixed for each round you complete, and it divides it equally based on how much money you spent on each tower. Now, the perk of this build is that you spend very little money on the towers placed, so the towers that you want to get the experience, you can just place down and spend the remainder of your money on it so that it will get a ton of experience from rounds 30 through 60. So, for example, if I wanted to get some experience for my submarine, I would place a few down in the water and spend as much cash on it. So ideally, I would spend 11,720 bucks upgrading these submarines so it would get the majority of the experience given throughout this run. Now, tip number 5 is primarily for Impoppable and Chimps runs, and it is know your team comp before going into it. Now, when you're attempting these harder difficulties, some team comps that I recommend are either 6 Populus Druids and Oban, a Permaspike Factory, Apache Prime, Brickle and a Subcommander, the 21 Ninja Strat, or Striker Jones and the biggest one. Now, you can mess around with some others, but these are the most popular ones that have done the job for Impossible and Chimps for me. Now, one last thing to note about Team Comp is that I believe that the Alchemist is S tier and its buffs should be in every single one of your runs for the harder difficulties. Well, there you guys have it, my 5 tips and tricks for Bloons Tower Defense 6. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one.